Hello, how are you today? Today we're going to do some of these envelopes and cards. I'm going to take down the last video I made and I'm going to put this one in its place because I don't want the whole world to know my medical history and everything I went through. But I want to thank all the ladies that sent me well wishes and very kind remarks and were concerned about my health, and I am doing so much better. So I'm going to take that down and I'm going to put this one in its place. So I will be talking about the challenge and the giveaway. The giveaway will be on May 6th, and the challenge, I will have the details in the description below. But what it is you take a little girl's graphic, and it doesn't matter what graphic it is. These are my graphics in my store, but you don't have to use them. You can use any little girl graphic you want, and make a card, make an envelope, decorate a bag, anything you want, a tag, and post a picture of it in my Facebook group. Or if you do a video of it, let me know and make sure to say it's for the Junk Journal Boulevard Challenge, and so I can enter you. And as many times as you make something, I will enter you. If you make one thing, you get entered once. If you make more than one, 2, 3, you'll get entered that many times. I will show the prize at the end of this video because a lot of you that return have already seen it. So if you don't want to, see it all over again and see a rerun, you can continue on with me. But if you haven't seen it, go to the end of the video. I will try to see if I can find the stamp time when it starts and put it in the description. I can't promise you that I'll find it. I'm not that great with editing video or figuring it all out. But it will be at the end of this video anyways, before I go. So what I have here are, I finished the little black girl graphics. And so I made an envelope. And these are for sale in my Etsy shop. And these are journaling cards. And I put some paper on the back, all of them, so that they can be journaled on. And I made the envelope and put them in there, and it's one set. So that is in Etsy, as well as this set that I showed you. These are for sale, and they do the same thing. And what I want to show you today is how to make the envelope, the bigger envelopes, in a very simple way. Some people sew their envelopes, which is fine. It's really nice. I don't do that. I mean, I can sew, but I'm not doing that right now. This I'm doing instead, kind of simpler and faster. So I'm going to show you a very easy way to make an envelope. The first thing I do is I measure and decide how wide do I want this top. It can be any width you want, I put 2 inches here, and I mark that. And I go to my score pad, and I see where 2 inches is, and I score it. Make sure you get it nice and straight. And then I fold it on the score line, and I have my handy dandy, what you call him? Yeah, there it goes, right out the head. Okay. This, I make my own. Anyways, because I lose these all the time. It'll come to me before the end of the video. And then I decide I will put my envelope up to where I want it. Now I got some paper turned over. About where I want it to go here. And then I will just pinch one side. And then I mark that with a pencil. Then I put it back on my score pad. And I will score it as close to that mark as I can. You may not get it right on, but you can get it pretty close because most score pads are very close together. Okay, and then I fold it up And I crease it with my bone folder. See, I told you it would come to me. Okay, so there you have an envelope, but the sides are not, you know, closed. So what are you going to do? Well, you could glue it straight down this way, or you could sew it that way. Excuse me. But what I like to do is I go over a 1/2 inch on my score pad, and I score all the way through every layer, both sides. Just make sure it's straight. I even do the lid. You don't have to if you want to fuss with it and figure out how to do it without doing the lid. And then I fold it down. I use my bone folder again. Fold it down this way on the score line. Try to do it on the score line. Okay. Both sides. And score. Then I fold this up, and what I like to do, I use my hot glue gun for this, and what I like to do is kind of glue just from here up down a little bit. I don't glue this part because you want it to have a little give. That's why I do this. You got a little room to breathe there. So, I mean, you can even mark it with a pencil that you want to glue it right to that point. And I just glue it right at the crease. So I don't want glue seeping out. And then I glue the sides. And I just put it right on here. And fold that down. Try to get it straight. And then I go over here. And I do it from here. And fold it down. And there you go. You have a nice envelope. And it's all, the thing is, it gives you a little more room, okay, because you've got a little seam allowance in there. And then what I did is I covered this area with a coordinating a coordinating paper. And I did the same here. I used this paper, and these two, you know, match together. They're my own prints and everything. And I just swapped them out to make them look nice and matchy, you know. Not everybody likes to match things, but I would put some nice coordinating paper. You could even use the same paper here, and just 2 inches by however wide this now is, and it's 7.5 wide because we took 1 inch off to score it. So there's a very easy way to make a nice big envelope, and you can make a lot of them very, very fast. Okay, so the other thing that I want to do is make a journaling card with you, give you some idea how I put mine together. And here's, well, let's get this out of here. Here's these two, and these are really simple. On these, I put some lace behind the picture. I cut out from a file folder 3.5 by 5, like a index card, and then I just decorated. And this is very simple with the lace underneath, and then this trim and an applique. Now, where did I put the other ladies? I'm always losing stuff. Okay. Oh, I got a dry throat today. Now, with these girls, I use buttons. I love using buttons, and this is bridal trim and an applique, and more buttons here, and ruffled, coffee-dyed ruffle. Oh, I also finished a cover for a journal with the little African-American girl on the front. And I like to use flowers whenever it's going to be something that you're not going to tuck in a journal. These are paper flowers, and I have a lot of these little paper flowers that I bought. And I just like to kind of spread them around. Here's some coffee dyed thing. And here's some book paper. and some decorative paper, and then an applique, more bridal trim and appliques. And on this, someone pointed out to me after on Facebook, it says, where is it? Not urinating. Can you believe that? Can you see that? I'm going to have to cover that up. I used a medical dictionary and was ripping the pages, and I wasn't even paying attention when I put that on there, and somebody goes, oh, not urinating, huh? I'm like, oh my gosh. So we'll see what we do with that. Okay, so I picked a couple girls out. I cut them down because they were bigger. Let's see. Like they were, you know, wider. And here's some more of the black girls. I didn't use them yet, only on the journaling cards, but aren't they cute? These are available graphics in my Etsy shop, and I have a link below. My favorite one, this little girl, she looks like a chocolate ice cream cone. And this one holding her little bear, and this one. They're so cute. Another cutie. And a girl with her dog. So anyways, they're wider like this, and I cut it down so I could put it on my 3.5 by 5 inch file folder card. And then I just put paper over it. And then what I always do, if I'm not going to put lace underneath, if I am, I put the lace on like I did here. I put the lace first, and then I put the picture on. But I will hot glue right down the middle of the picture so that the sides and the tops are free, because I don't know if I want to stick anything under there, and I do that a lot with many things that I make. This way it doesn't move on you when you're working, and nothing's more frustrating as you get something laid out and then the picture moves and everything changes. So I just put the glue down. I figure that's where I want it. I need to learn to work with it that way, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got some lace and trims I brought out, and we'll see what we can do with these cards. They are fun to make, but I do spend a lot of time. I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time on these things. Okay, I like this. This is vintage from a wedding gown, believe it or not, and it's very thick lace. I did not coffee dye this. It is already aged by itself, and I like this scallop idea. The only problem I don't like is that it covers up her boots. So what I was thinking, oh, I need to get some water, is just to put that like that, and I did bring my glue gun. If I'm real sure of what I'm doing, I will use a different kind of glue. But if I'm not, I'll use the glue gun. Like, I'll just do this carefully, just a little bit so I can see, and then put it on there. And I always put a silicone mat underneath so that the glue doesn't ruin my mat. And then I'll cut this off. I think that's good. Let me see if I like it. Trim it down a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And then what do I put on the top of it? Let me see. I've got this. Oh, I like that. Some gathered lace. And what I have, I use my, where did it go? There it is. My silicone. This is off of a spatula that I got at the dollar store, and it's a silicone spatula so that the glue does not stick to it. So if I'm going to do something like this, I'm going to do some hot glue in here. I'm going to put this down, and I want it to gather. I'm going to use this little thing so I don't burn my fingers. And I'm just kind of going to do this messy like. You know, sometimes that's really cute, especially for a little girl. I'm not going to be real fussy about it. I like the way things turn out sometimes when you just let it do its natural thing. Yeah, and I'm not using my silicone thing. I just push it over, and wherever it lands, except I don't want it under that. I want it over that. Then I'm going to trim it, see what it looks like. I should trim it this way. Okay. I like that. It's pretty good. That's cute. It's layered, you know. I like layers on stuff. And you could come back, like I'm just going to come back, and so this will lay down a little bit. So when you put it in your envelope or your journal, it's not going to get all caught up in something in a pocket. I mean, I think it is important that we just have some flatness somewhere. Get your stuff going. Okay, that's cute. And then I have, what do I have over here? Sometimes I will take lace like this, and it's too big to really use the whole piece. But I like these little dangly parts, so I will just clip them apart and see what I can do with it. I mean, it's lace. You can use it. I don't really care for that. I like that, but I don't think I want to put any more layers over here. So let me see what I've got. This is bridal lace. It's, you know, the dress was covered in this. No, I don't think so. Let me see. I've got so much stuff, it's not funny. But it's good. I'm not complaining. I'm really not. Okay, here's from a wedding gown. Another applique. The only thing I hate is you get glue all over your fingers. All over your fingers, Mo. Now that's kind of cute. And if you wanted to, I don't know, that's not really that cute. I don't really like that. Ah, jeez. Oh, I like this. What's this? That's pretty. That's off of a dress. That's off of the same dress. Or maybe I could just use... You know what, I really like the idea of a flower down here. And maybe a flower up here. And here's part of an applique. Maybe I don't want the flower down there. What do I got here? I love this kind of a dress here. I don't know if you've ever seen them at Goodwill, but you can get a dress full of this stuff. If you ever see one, buy it. It's the netting. You can cut it all apart, and oh, it's just so pretty to use, especially on a journal, a card, or whatever. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this. And this is another thing. This is just a remnant, little piece that, like, if you wanted to do something under here, see, that's how I would stick something under there. I'm not going to because I don't think it works with this, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to put things under there, as long as it's what you like. And I have stuff like this. I love this. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to take that out. I'm going to glue this down because I like it. Now, I'll give you a little tip. If you get stuck and you're decorating something and you've got like 3 or 4 things that are going and that you like them, and then you get to the 5th thing, but you haven't glued anything down, let's say, okay, you're trying to plan it out ahead of time, and you get to the 5th thing and you can't make up your mind, the thing that I always do is I go back to what I know I like, and I will finish that. Like the first layer. I like the first layer. All right, glue down the first layer. I like the second thing. Glue down the second thing. And that usually spurs me into like the 3rd thing. Then I can see what I'm doing. But if I just got it all laid out It's not glued down. I get confused, and I think we all do because we're trying to think too far ahead. So if you get in that spot where you're just stuck and you go, I don't know what I'm going to do next, go back to what you did know, do what you know that you like, and then you watch. It'll just progress naturally and you'll figure it out. That's the only way I can tell you to do things. That's how I do it all the time, because I'm always getting stuck. It's easy to get stuck on this stuff because we have so many choices, so many ways we can do things. I think that's why people love making things for journals and making journals. There's so much you can do with it. So that's cute. I think that's cute. But I still, down here, it's just too thick. Let me see about this flower again. Well, I'm just going to leave that because I know that that's okay. It's a beginning. And then I can figure it out after. I even have this. I tell you I'm going to leave it and then I keep going. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Now the next one I already thought about is taking this coffee dyed. I did coffee dye this and folded it in half. And that's what I did on this little girl's. I folded it in half. And I'm going to bring my silicone mat back out here. I'm going to fold it in half. And how many times do I say that, right? Okay. Let's see. Make sure it's the right way. Okay. I'm going to fold it in half. It lays nice and flat. Then I'm going to put some glue on it. And just put it down like that. Then I'm going to trim it. I trimmed the whole thing here. Okay. All right. I'll trim that. I also like this. I mean, I think that's kind of cute, pretty. And this is wedding gown applique. Just a little applique up there sometimes does it. And it kind of matches. I like that. Let me see, I also like this. I would have to fold it under. That gives it a different look, doesn't it? I like that. I don't think I'm going to put... Oh, I know. I want to put something like this. That's what I was going to do. Oh, never mind. I was going to put this on here. I had thought about that earlier. I love this. Yeah, you know, it really... You can't really put too much on these. I think they're just great to decorate. I just love decorating them and throwing lace on them. Even though it's a lot of lace, it's still pretty. Very pretty. But I'll see about that. Okay, I like that there. And I think I'm going to stick with something a little less. I think I'm going to stick with this. Yeah. And it's right at this, where it opens up, where it ends. So we've got 4 motifs. I'm going to put out right there. Don't burn yourself. What I do is I just get a bunch of lace and appliques out that I think I want to work with, and I play with them till I like the way it looks. And that's how I do that. Now, where did that applique go? Where did it go? Oh, I just had... Oh, there it is. Okay. You can also coffee dye these or ink them up. Makes them look pretty. Put that there. This came off of a wedding gown, and oh, I have used so much of it. These pretty roses. I thought that was so pretty when I bought it. I don't know. I could put something like that up there, but I don't like that. I could, but would I? No. All right, I think I'm stumped. I also have this cool green applique material that I got off of a dress. And sometimes you just need a green for a picture that you're working with. And it just perfect so many times. Okay, well, and I also have this, and I had cut some of it. I don't know what I did with it. Why do I lose everything the minute I turn the camera on? As soon as I turn the camera on, I don't know what I'm doing. It's ridiculous. I mean, something like that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, I also wanted to show you what you could do with the inside of doilies. I cut out, these were the centers of a doily, and I cut them out. I coffee dyed them, and then I put a little applique in and a bow, and I even did a little kitty cat just to add to my journals. Like, isn't that kind of cute? Just like that. She has a kitty cat, and that's her favorite kitty. I mean, you can do stuff like that. So, okay, so now I'm going to show the box of what's going to be given away in the giveaway on May 6th. And to whoever cooperates or enters, do I have this right? There we go. Whoever enters in and to the challenge and wins, this is what you're going to win. Okay, I have a couple of appliques here. These are off of a wedding gown, and I've got a ton of them. Some vintage trim, naturally aged, not coffee dyed. Some bridal trim, lots of pearls. And like I said before, if you want to cut this up and you have a particular design, say like this flower, you go back and you just glue the strings down with some tacky glue, let it dry, takes about 5 minutes, and then you can cut it apart and the pearls will stay on. So you can, there's a lot of designs in here. There's a lot of stuff to play with. And then here's some appliques that I took off of a gown. And you do the same thing with this. If you want if you want to cut it up, I like to cut this up and use the leaves. You also, if you want to keep the pearls on, use tacky glue, and they will stay on. Then you have some of this. You will have to cut this apart yourself. I've cut so much of it, I just don't want to cut anymore. The same with this. You cut this apart. So you got a lot of nice little appliques, flowers. They're real pretty. And then I have, this is almost a yard. Let's see. It's about 21 inches long. And how wide is it? 21 by 21. And this is a real pretty, this is a vintage lace, a real vintage lace. And this trim can be easily cut off of there if you need to. And then this is another piece that is a half a yard lengthwise and 12 inches wide. And on this piece, you got a lot of flowers that you can cut apart and use as appliques. Then you have your scallop here. So you have some pretty stuff on here all the way around. It's very nice. And this is an interesting piece of lace. Different. It's not a big piece, but you really don't even need to use a lot. It's really pretty. It's big enough, I think, to do a cover on a journal. And then this is one of my favorites. It's a nice like applique or designs. You don't have to cut the exact design out. You can just cut a half a piece, a little piece, and it just really looks nice on a journal or on a card. So you get some of that. And then this is about a yard of white lace. It's very lightweight, see-through, ethereal. So it covers nicely if you have The stupid camera won't stay still. Sorry about that. If you have something like paper that you want to cover over, you can use this. It's real nice. There's a whole yard of that. And then this is different. And this has a scalloped edge along, and it's over 22 inches long. It's stretchy, and you can take the you can undo the stitches and take the scallop edge off if you just want to use that. And then for my favorite, we have pink lace. It was on a gown, and it's a nice weight. It's not too heavy, it's not too thin, and it's really pretty. And I'm giving you over 22 inches long. The bottom, it tapers off. So the bottom is 11 inches wide, and then the top is about 9 inches wide. So, but it's a nice piece of lace. I mean, really nice. So hopefully whoever gets that will be happy and be able to use it. So the way to win this, I have to hang on to my camera. The way to win this is to enter in my challenge. Make something, a card or an envelope, a paper bag or something, using a little girl image. Post a picture of it in my Facebook group, or if you talk about it in a video, make sure you say this is the challenge for Junk Journal Boulevard Facebook group, which will be drawn on May 6th. And as many times as you make something, I will enter you. If you make it 3 times and you post pictures, I'll enter you 3 times. If you do it just once, I'll enter you just once. If you do it 10 times, I'll enter you 10 times. So it's up to you what you want to do. I think that's about it. I'll leave my description below for everything. My Facebook group and my Etsy shop and my email if you need to get a hold of me about the challenge or anything like that. So thank you for stopping by. And if you like this video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.